Welcome back, focused learners. Today, we're diving straight into an explainer on a topic literally everyone thinks about and worries about, but very few have actually mastered: budgeting. Now, don't worry, we are not building complicated, soul-crushing spreadsheets today. Instead, we're completely demystifying your money using a beautifully simple, anti-restrictive framework. It's called the 50-30-20 rule, a super simple formula for absolute financial freedom.
All right, let's kick things off with part one, the missing money mystery. So before we solve the problem of managing your money, we have to talk about the pain point. Are you wondering where all your money went this month? Let's be real. I bet a lot of you are nodding your heads right now. You earn a decent income, you're working hard, but somehow the last few days of the month roll around and panic sets in. You open up your banking app and just think, wait, where did it all actually go?
Well, here's the hard truth. The problem isn't usually the size of your paycheck. It's your system, or, your complete lack of one. Without a structured framework in place, your money just silently leaks away through invisible cracks.
Which brings us to part two, the 50-30-20 formula.
Okay, let's dive into this. If you absolutely despise tracking every single receipt, this right here is the ultimate anti-budget budget. It basically divides your after-tax income, the money that actually hits your bank account, into three broad, super easy-to-follow slices. We're talking 50% for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings and investments. And that's literally the whole shebang. You just maintain this high-level balance to enjoy the present without sacrificing your future.
Let's start with your absolute non-negotiables, that 50% needs category. These are the things you absolutely must pay to maintain your basic standard of living. Think rent or your home EMI, basic groceries, utilities like water and electricity, getting to work, healthcare, and your minimum debt repayments. Now, a quick warning here, if these unavoidable essentials are eating up way more than half of your income, that is a huge red flag. It usually points straight to high rent, heavy loan burdens, or a bit of lifestyle inflation.
Moving right along to part three, needs versus wants. Now, we human beings are incredibly good at convincing ourselves that a want is actually a survival need, and this brilliantly illustrates the trap. You need a basic smartphone to stay connected for work, right? Sure, that is absolutely a need. But buying the absolute latest, top-tier premium smartphone when your current one works totally fine? Yeah, that's a want. You need to get to the office, but taking a premium daily cab instead of hopping on public transit? That's a want too. Differentiating true survival needs from lifestyle upgrades is the absolute secret sauce to protecting your financial stability. Once your basics are totally covered, we get to the fun part, the 30% wants category. We're allocating a full 30% of your income strictly to things that just make life better: dining out, movie tickets, streaming subscriptions, vacations, and gaming. You see, budgeting doesn't mean zero fun. Allocating specifically for these categories ensures you can enjoy your lifestyle completely guilt-free because you've literally planned for it. So the crucial point is that while those first two categories manage your present life, securing your future is what the final 20% allocation for savings and investments is all about. This is arguably the most important part of the entire rule. It focuses entirely on wealth creation, crushing your debt beyond just the minimums, and harnessing the massive power of compounding over time. 6 to 12. Before you go aggressively dumping money into the stock market, you need a shield, an emergency fund covering 6 to 12 months of your essential expenses. Experts recommend this massive number because it completely protects you against a sudden job loss, a massive medical emergency, or a major unexpected repair. You have to fund this shield using your 20% bucket first. Once that emergency shield is fully funded and ready to go, that 20% starts working to build some serious long-term wealth. You have some fantastic investment vehicles to choose from here: mutual funds and SIPs, direct stocks, the Public Provident Fund, the National Pension System, or even reliable fixed deposits. These are the tools that take your money and actually multiply it over time. All right, let's look at part four, the formula in action. Let's walk through this real quick and see exactly how it builds in the real world with a guy named Rahul who brings home $50,000 a month after taxes. His 50% need slice gives him $25,000 for essentials, completely covering his $12K rent, groceries, transport, insurance, and utilities perfectly. His 30% wants gives him $15,000 for shopping, dining, and travel. And finally, his 20% savings bucket takes the last $10,000, which he splits into a $7K SIP and $3K for his emergency fund. See? Rahul gets to enjoy his life today while quietly building a financial fortress for tomorrow. Which brings us to part 5, when to bend the rules.
Look, life isn't always perfectly clean and mathematical. We know that. There are very real limitations to this framework. If you live in an ultra-high cost of living city, your rent alone might break that 50% cap. Or if you're facing low-income challenges, squeezing out 20% for savings might literally be impossible right now. And you know what? That is completely okay. This framework is a flexible guideline. It's not a strict law. You just adapt it to fit your reality.
Let's move to and see how this builds for the entrepreneurs out there. For small business owners and freelancers dealing with wild income fluctuations, we use the entrepreneur pivot. You apply the exact same ratio. 50% goes to business and personal essentials, like office rent and salaries. 30% goes to growth and lifestyle, meaning marketing and personal wants, and 20% goes to a tax reserve and savings for income tax, GST, and emergencies. It's the exact same logic, just seamlessly applied to a different financial reality.
Finally, Part 6, how to start today. Knowledge without action is just trivia, right? To actually get the simplicity and reduce stress this rule promises, you have to implement these steps. Track your spending regularly to know your baseline. Automate your savings so it's pulled from your account before you even have a chance to see it. Avoid lifestyle inflation, meaning when you get a raise, bump up your investments, not your car payment. Build that emergency fund first, and definitely use budgeting apps to make the whole process as frictionless as possible. The best time to start budgeting was yesterday. The second best time is today. Don't wait for the perfect month or the new year or your next big promotion. Take control of your financial freedom right now using this simple system. So, what does this all mean for you? Well, what is the very first step you're going to take the moment this explainer ends? Thanks for learning with me today, Focus Learners. Go get your 50-30-20 sorted out.